Hi everyone, my name is Sam. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notification every time I post a new video. Also, please like this video for the YouTube algorithm. This will help me grow this channel. So in this video, I'll be comparing ChatGPT with Google. I have 10 queries that I want to ask both Google and ChatGPT, and I'll be comparing their speed and accuracy. So let's get started. So these are the 10 queries that we'll be asking ChatGPT and Google. So let's get started with the first one. So the first query that we have is, what is the capital of Russia? So I'll just copy and paste this onto Google and ChatGPT and see what the response is. Google was definitely faster compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is still thinking, even though their response is accurate, but Google response was much faster. Let's try the second one. So the second query that we have is about who wrote a novel To Kill a Mockingbird. I'll just copy and paste this. First, I'll just do it in Google and then in ChatGPT. So Google response was definitely much faster, but the response seems to be accurate and pretty precise. So let's try the third one. So the third query that we have is about the highest mountains. So I'll just copy and paste this on both Google and ChatGPT, and let's wait for the response. So definitely Google response was much faster compared to ChatGPT. However, ChatGPT is able to give me some more details about the mountain as well. So let's try the next query. So the next query that we have is about who was the first person who walked on the moon. I'll just copy and paste this and then compare it to see what the response was. So again, Google was much faster. However, ChatGPT was able to give me some more details about who was the first person who kind of landed on the moon. For Google, if I were to go into more detail, I will have to click on this and then I'll have to read through it. But ChatGPT was kind of able to give me a summary of what just happened. So I think here the response, even though response from Google was much faster, ChatGPT was more precise and it was able to give me more information that I kind of need to know, or maybe I wanted to know. So let's try the next query. So the next query that we have is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So I'll just copy and paste this onto Google and ChatGPT and wait for the response. So the response from ChatGPT is definitely slower compared to Google. However, ChatGPT is giving more detail about the question than Google. I think that's probably one of the reasons that the response was much faster on Google compared to ChatGPT. However, one of the things I like about ChatGPT is that when you ask a question, it kind of gives you a little detail about what you just asked, so some sort of useful information that could be very useful to a user. But for Google, when you ask for something precise, it just gives you that number. So if I want to know more about this, I will have to go to the website and then look into things and like read through it to make sure what it is. But ChatGPT is kind of able to give me a summary of information that is kind of very useful for that specific question. So let's try another query. So the next query that I have is about how a human brain processes language. So let's see what happens. ChatGPT is pretty fast at responding, which is pretty good. But here, see, when I asked the same question from Google, Google kind of gave me like suggestion, hey, this is what you meant. And here is some of the responses from Google. So it's sort of medical news today fact. I think that's the article Google is kind of highlighting. It's asked directing processing that led to speech. Okay, and let's see what happened. Human brain is a complex origin. Okay, so here, response from ChatGPT is more precise. It is definitely better than Google, even though it did mention broadcast area. So it does here. It also mentioned that broadcast area, but ChatGPT is kind of give me more details about. Different things, and it kind of also trying to make me understand on what I asked. So it says the human brain is a complex organ that is responsible for processing language, and then language is a unique human ability that involves the use of symbols, sound, grammar to convey meaning. And then the process of language processing in the brain involves several areas, including, and these are some of the areas. However, Google kind of got confused here because first it kind of asked me, did I meant this? No, I did not meant this. That was the question that I wanted to ask in the first place. But when you are using Google, it gives you like a bunch of other results as well. So you can actually kind of go through them and kind of process the information. But for ChatGPT, the beauty is that you don't have to do any of that. And it kind of gave me everything I needed on here. So let's try another query. So the next query that we have is the difference between virus and bacteria. So that's probably one of the most common questions that people do ask and don't know the answer to. Let's Google this and then let's ask ChatGPT. So, according to Google, bacteria are free living cells that can live inside or outside a body, while viruses are non living collection of molecules that need a host to survive. Actually, pretty good, pretty decent definition, what I asked for. However, ChatGPT is giving me a much lengthier response than I asked for. I did not ask for way more detail. I kind of wanted to know a simple explanation, but it is nice that it was kind of summarized everything that is the difference. So it's talking about the size, the structure, the reproduction, treatment, diseases. So it is kind of giving me all everything that I kind of need to know about. Versus, I think in this one, Google kind of won because I asked for just a simple difference, not a lengthy response. I guess in a sense, ChatGPT kind of misunderstood the question, I believe. But it is nice to get all the response if you were looking to more like go on a granular level about the virus and bacteria, then you can definitely ask ChatGPT to like go in more detail. But if I was looking for a more detailed response, I think ChatGPT response is much better than Google. But again, it depends on what you're looking for as a user. So let's try another query. So the next query that we have is about COVID-19 and what are the most common symptoms of COVID-19. We can just ask ChatGPT and Google. So I'll just copy and paste this on both ChatGPT and Google. Let's ask Google first and then ChatGPT. So let's see. COVID 19. So here, Google was able to provide me different websites links. So I will have, if I want to know the symptoms of each of COVID 19, I will have to kind of go in the website and read them. While ChatGPT is kind of giving me what I asked for. So since the COVID 19, which is caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus, can cause a wide range of symptoms ranging from mild to severe. Some of the most common symptom of COVID 19 include, and these are some of the most common symptoms, and here are some of the other things about COVID 19. But I think here in this response, ChatGPT kind of gave me the answer that I wanted, while Google gave me links to CDC and Mayo Clinic and bunch of others. That means that I will have to go in the website, read them, and then get a response. While ChatGPT was able to kind of compile all the information and give me a response. So let's try a next query. So the next query that I have is about photosynthesis. So it is sort of asking for what is the definition of photosynthesis. I'll ask ChatGPT first, and then I'll ask Google again to see what the response is. Okay, so ChatGPT is kind of giving me this entire thing of photosynthesis is the process of which a green plant, algae, and some bacteria convert light energy from sun into chemical energy in the form of organic compounds such as glucose using carbon dioxide, water, and the process involves two stages: the light dependent reaction and the light independent reaction. Okay, this is very interesting and a pretty good response compared to Google. While it was giving me the Oxford definition of what is photosynthesis. So the process by which green plant and some other organism use sunlight. Okay, I think both responses are acceptable in this case. I asked for just a definition. Google was able to give me just the definition, while ChatGPT kind of put in a bunch of other details on how it works. So I think both of the responses here are acceptable. So let's try the next query. So this is our last query, and it is asking about the founder of Microsoft. So we all know that Bill Gates is the founder of Microsoft, but let's find out what ChatGPT thinks and what Google thinks. So the response is ChatGPT is kind of processing this information, which is very interesting. This should be like a very quick response. And here, when I asked Google, Google was able to give me founders Bill Gates and Paul Allen. And here, it was also able to give me response Bill Gates and Paul Allen. However, ChatGPT was able to give me some of the other information about them as well. So it kind of says that he co-founded Microsoft with Paul Allen in 1975, while Google is just giving me who are the founders, which is, I guess, this is what I asked for. I did not ask for extra details, but it is nice to know some extra details. So if you're looking for something specific, sometimes it's just nice to know extra details about the topic. I think the response here is pretty equal, I believe. It depends on if you just want to know who the founder was, because we all know what the founder was or who the founder of Microsoft is, but it is kind of nice to know some of these other things that ChatGPT was able to give me. I think overall, if you compare both ChatGPT and Google, they are kind of similar in a way, but I think in most cases, the responses from Google were much faster and much precise compared to ChatGPT. However, some of the responses from ChatGPT were better than Google. So I think if you kind of are looking for something precise and specific, I would recommend like using ChatGPT because it kind of gives you a summary of each detail. And if you ask for something specific, it gives you that thing and give you a little detail about that, while ChatGPT is kind of if you ask for who is the founder of Microsoft, it will just tell you Bill Gates and Paul Allen. So if you want to know a little bit more about it, you will kind of have to read more things and go to articles. So it does kind of give me like a history article. But even though some of the other responses that we thought, like for the COVID-19 one, so when I asked about ChatGPT and Google, gave me some of the symptoms of COVID-19, ChatGPT was able to process that information much better compared to Google. Google kind of gave me links to a bunch of the website that if I were to go and check them out, but that was not the point. If I wanted to do that, I would just go to CDC website and look it up. But I wanted to know a precise answer, and I think ChatGPT was able to do that for me. For the viruses and bacteria, I think uh, Google was more precise because I just asked for a simple definition, not like an entire detail of how each of things are made. I don't care about that. I just needed to know like a simple thing. For so does the brain processing language. Same thing. ChatGPT was able to give me more details. I did not want it to be that technical into it. I just wanted to know how it works. Uh, but again, the information seems to be similar between Google and ChatGPT, so that's a good thing. So if you were using either platform for your research or anything, so that will be like a good place to start. So if you're looking for more precise answers, I will definitely recommend ChatGPT. So this is it for this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Also, please share this with your friends or anyone you think they'll benefit from this content. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.